Here in Nashville, Tennessee, we are at the NRA annual meetings. Montel Williams, zero introduction needed. Good to see you, Montel.
Good to see you and good to be here.
Montel, listen, I know, this free Amir situation right now, you, Greta Van Susteren, I mean, this is such an unbelievable story that so few people know about and not enough people care about. Just tell us exactly what's going on with free Amir.
It's just really simple because everybody in America understands when I say the following thing. We have a U.S. Marine who is being held in prison in Iran. He has been there now for 3.5 years. This is one of the longest held POWs, prisoner of war, that we've had. And he's not even a prisoner of war because we weren't at war with Iran. This man applied. Now let's get this straight again. He is a U.S. citizen, born in the United States, went through high school here in the United States. His name is Amir Hakmati. Amir joined the Marine Corps, served with honor and dignity against Iraq, served, went back 2 tours, came home, discharged, honorable discharge. He finds out that his grandmother is dying. So it's part of his culture. He's a part Iranian, but he's an American citizen. His grandmother's dying. He's supposed to go back and see his grandmother before he dies. He goes down to the Pakistani embassy, applies for a passport. He's never applied for a passport under Iranian citizenship before, but he got a passport and had to divulge the fact that he served in the Marine Corps. He had to tell them what he did before they would let him go to see his grandmother. He steps off a plane and they arrest him. And a week later, they sentence him to death. And then they hold him for a couple of months in prison while they're torturing him the whole time. And they turn it around, they withdrew the death penalty. They recharged him, and they charged him for treason against Iran because his lineage is Iranian and American. They just decided he's going to be an Iranian citizen, not an American citizen. But what's the abomination is, and you've heard this, you've heard me talk about this when I've been battling for our VA and trying to get the rights and get the treatments that our soldiers deserve. I've discussed this many, many times. And every time I say it, we hear the president, we hear everybody in Washington, D.C. say, we leave no soldier behind, right? You heard those words. You heard it about 3 weeks ago. We leave no soldier behind. Yet, we have blindly left Amir behind for 3.5 years. And right now, had I not gone on Greta last week and started trying to raise this attention, and there's been a lot of people out here trying to do so, but it's just not caught the attention of the public. So we need to make sure that everybody, especially all the members of the NRA, these are the guys who defend our freedom. Every single day we talk about it. Let's walk the walk. Right now, Amir needs our help. I've got 2 hashtags. One of them is hashtag free Amir now. Let's let the United States government, our Congress and Senate, stop messing around. You were trying to make a deal with a country that we already know are liars. So let's skip that. Let's jump to, we don't make any deals till you let our people come home. That's 1. 2, I got to tell you this. In the last week since I started going on air, there are people who are sitting on Amir's name in this country who are stealing money from his family. This man's father is dying right now of a brain tumor here in the United States. And they don't have the money to afford what they've been doing. So I'm going to ask you, there's only one legitimate site for Amir, and it is giveforward.com/free Amir. Let me say it one more time. giveforward.com/free Amir. That's the only site you should give any money to. And if I can say one more thing, we're here. Every speech that's going on right now is talking about the fact that right now we have a government that's trying to erode not only our Second Amendment right, but our First Amendment right. I started talking about Amir last week. It doesn't matter what his religious background is. He wears a uniform of a Marine, a sergeant in the Marine Corps. Because he does practice the Muslim faith? Are you kidding me? Is not this country built on religious freedom? I don't care what religion he is. He's fighting for the United States of America, and he's fighting to protect my freedom and our democracy. And there are people who are coming up online right now sending some of the most disparaging, nasty things to his family just because his family exercises their right to be religiously free. We got to knock this stupidity off.
Especially right now, we were talking about Indiana, Religious Freedom Act.
Yes.
People want religious freedom, but you're attacking someone who's serving our country for being, just because he's Muslim. It's so beyond me, Montel.
It is so beyond me, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to tell you, and I'll say this right now, right in the camera, because the majority of people who are doing this are, I can't use that word, I was going to say that bad word, are those people who lack enough intestinal fortitude to let their own family members put on a uniform and defend this democracy, and they probably didn't do so themselves. So those that are out there that are hassling this Marine, who is now, Why am I this crazy? He's been tortured for 3.5 years. 3.5 years. Currently, the Iranian government addicted him to lithium. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the most cruel form of punishment that we could ever put someone through. And the Geneva Convention states that you can't do this. How then can we make a deal with a country that's violating the Geneva Convention right now? I just say, it's really simple. Hashtag free Amir now.
Montel, you were also very instrumental with Marine held in Mexico. That was a famous hashtag.
Andrew Tamarisa.
Why does it take, we have all these hashtags that take off that are just useless hashtags, but you have to fight tooth and nail for Marine held in Mexico, free Amir. I mean, without you, without Fox News, without Greta, this probably we wouldn't probably talk about it right now. Why does it take so much to try to help and defend the people who defend this country? It's sickening. We are such a celebrity-driven country. If there's a celebrity hashtag, through the roof. This should be through the roof, Montel.
Should be through the roof. And I'm going to say something that's going to make a lot of people mad. I think I'm making people mad just because I'm standing in the presence of patriots. You know what I'm saying? I'm here standing in the presence of patriots, and this is making people in the country mad. I'm going to make a little bit more mad. In the last 20 years, we have relegated, delegated, and obviated our responsibility as citizens to put those people up to defend this democracy that should be. I'm talking about our children. So, unfortunately, what's going on in this country today, we have less than 18% of our Congress and Senate have ever served or put a uniform on. We have probably right now less than 0.09% of the nation's population has a skin in the game, real skin, a family member. So, unfortunately, we are so narcissistically selfish that we don't take the time out of our day to thank and respect those that pay for our freedom every day. Walking around in this place right here, there are people who are limbless, with PTSD, patriots that came out here just to be heard. 90,000 of them in town. I'm walking around in this town, I'm getting stopped. Look right now, look around here. All these people know who I am, they know I'm on television, they're stopping and saying thank you. I leave here, it's almost like I don't exist. I wrote a note last week to another celebrity friend of mine who is extremely ingrained in helping our soldiers. And I said, dude, I'm telling you, I'm tired of breaking down on television. I'm so sorry I'm doing this. I'm not trying to let you guys down. And he said, I said, the reason why I'm breaking down is I feel like I'm alone. And he said, dude, you're not alone. There are a lot of us out here who understand and want to stand up. I just got to beg them to do it. So stand up today. Free Amir now. Got to do that.
I know you're busy. Last question. Talk about the VA.
Yes.
We had so many horrific stories. We've had death. We've had suicides.
You know what's just happened? Yesterday, an AP report just came out. I know everybody who sees me now knows that for the last 2 years, I'm the guy that's been on television screaming at the top of the lungs. The
guy. That's the problem.
Yeah. And the abomination that's going on right now in Washington, D.C., and the fact that we had, what was it, a 9-month delay in having veterans see doctors. We made a big deal about it on the news. Everybody said this is crazy, you shouldn't do this. We pushed the president into signing a little bill for $25 million. Well, guess what? A report just came out yesterday, and do you know that over 850,000 veterans have waited more than 3 to 6 months in the last 9 months to be seen?
After all this happened, nothing's changed.
Oh, no. And you know the bigger abomination? See, again, most people don't know this. What we're doing to our veterans, atrocity. Our active duty soldiers right now could be put on a week to a 2-week hold before they see a doctor. So it's not just about the guys that served 20, 30 years ago. I'm telling you that the soldiers right now on active duty are having difficulty getting appointments seeing their doctors. This is how we treat the guys that we send off to defend this democracy. And right now, every one of the warmongers in Washington, D.C. are trying to send more off. Who's going to fill the ranks?
What should people do, Montel?
Right here, know that when a child comes home and he's been blown up, nobody's going to take care of him. You're going to send your child? No. What should we do? I'm going to mess you up because people aren't going to like me for this. You ready?
People like you, Montel. Don't worry about it.
I want to see the next president of the United States, I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat, reinstate a draft. Sorry. 1% of this country should not have to defend 100%. Everybody needs skin in the game, and this won't happen. So we had, I'm sorry, that little young man right there, if he knew that by the time he graduated from high school, he was going to have to serve, whether it be in a uniform or whether it be on the streets of the country or whether it be even tutoring other students. Whatever happened to national service? Whatever happened to the idea that we all are responsible for this democracy? Until we do that, we will continue to treat soldiers the way we do. We'll continue to leave them in jail, and we'll continue to leave them unaccounted for. And guess what? Hear me as I speak. We right now have over 700,000 concussive and traumatic brain injury soldiers in this country. They're not getting treatment. Woe be it to us what happens 5 years from now when some of them decide to react because you haven't treated them.
The hashtag's Free Amir now. Free Amir.
Free Amir now. That's the only official website for funding for Amir, and here it is right here. It's giveforward.com/Free Amir. If you want to give money, last night, as of the time we went on air with Greta, it's $7,800 that's been raised already. We could use some more. I gotta get this guy out of prison now.
Montel, you're a fantastic American. The things that you do for the people who serve us is unbelievable, and it's a tragedy that you are a lone voice in this. And I hope that things like this and things that what you're doing are helping. And I know you care so much about this, and I can only hope nothing but more success. And thank you for everything you do. And of course, thank you for your own service to this country.
Sure. And thank you. I will say it publicly again. I have been around this country for the last 2 months, 3 months, talking about this. It wasn't until I set foot here at the NRA that I've had the response that I've had from the people that are here saying, thank you, what do I have to do, what can I do? I've got more cards from businessmen here, not just blowing smoke, they're ready to get busy and do something. I don't know what's keeping the rest of the country from following suit.
This is the crowd for it.
I think so. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you for being here. Thank you to the NRA. Thank you.